the unthinkable loss of General Francis Ogolla, a nation in mourning. On April 17, 2024, Kenya was struck by a loss so profound, it felt like the earth beneath its feet had cracked wide open. General Francis Ogolla, the Chief of Defense Forces (CDF) of Kenya, tragically died in a plane crash that claimed the lives of 9 other military personnel. Their helicopter, soaring high above the heart of Elgeyo Marakwet County, would never land safely, casting a shadow of sorrow over a nation that depended on his leadership. Ogolla's death is not just a headline in the news, it is a wound in the fabric of Kenya's military and national identity. It was a loss of an icon, a patriot whose very life was a testament to the unwavering commitment to the nation he loved. He had been appointed to the top military position just a year earlier, in April 2023. What was meant to be a year of leadership, strategy, and reform turned into an unimaginable heartbreak. A journey cut short. General Ogolla's career was nothing short of extraordinary. A son of the soil, he began his service in the Kenya Defense Forces in 1984, slowly rising through the ranks with grit, determination, and an ironclad sense of duty. Over the years, he earned the respect of his colleagues, subordinates, and the entire nation. His character, humble, yet resolute, compassionate, yet firm, made him a symbol of the virtues Kenya aspired to uphold. But even the most seasoned leaders cannot escape the fickleness of fate. As the head of the military, Ogolla's responsibilities were vast, his actions shaping not just the future of the KDF, but also influencing Kenya's place on the global stage. Yet, he never seemed like the kind of man who would let power blind him. Even in his highest moments, he remained deeply grounded in the principles of service, duty, and humility. The news of his death sent shockwaves through the country. In a time when the people had come to trust him as their defender, his loss left them not just with grief, but with questions that linger in the minds of many. What led to the crash? Was it just an accident, or was there something more? Why did this happen to a man who had given his life to protect others? A nation struggles to understand. The wreckage that was found deep in the wilderness of Elgeyo Marakwet spoke volumes. A shattered aircraft, burnt and broken, a silent reminder of how fragile life can be. The military's top brass was gone, and the survivors, 2 souls who lived to tell the tale, were left with the haunting memories of what transpired. For days, the nation waited in uncertainty, asking the same question, why him? The days that followed his death were filled with tributes, prayers, and eulogies, yet no amount of words could fill the void left behind by the general. President William Ruto, in his memorial address, acknowledged the gravity of the loss, calling it a blow not just to the military but to the very soul of Kenya. The Chief of Defense Forces, Amar. The pain of the unanswered questions. There is a particular type of pain that comes with not knowing. It's not just the sorrow of loss, but the weight of unspoken words, of questions that hang in the air with no answer in sight. For those who loved him, worked with him, and followed his leadership, the loss of Ogolla isn't just a military tragedy, it is a national crisis. What went wrong? Was there a mechanical failure, human error, or something far darker at play? These are the questions that gnaw at the hearts of the public, unanswered, unrelenting. As the investigation into the crash unfolded, it became clear that there would be no easy closure, no simple explanation that could make sense of the inconceivable. The nation mourned not just a leader, but a symbol of stability. A man who had stood tall in the face of adversity, who had weathered storms, and who had dedicated his life to the service of Kenya. His death was not just a military loss, but a deep wound to the collective psyche of the country. And as the days turned into weeks, that wound remained raw and unhealed. Grief and legacy. In the aftermath, the people of Kenya struggled to find a way to cope with the loss. The military held a state memorial service, attended by the highest ranks of the government, including President Ruto himself. But no memorial could replace the loss of such a giant. Ogolla's legacy would not be measured in the ranks he held or the titles he wore. It would be measured in the lives he touched, the changes he brought, and the way he led with integrity and honor. General Ogolla's name, forever etched in Kenya's history, will be remembered by those who knew him best, the soldiers who served under him, the citizens whose safety he ensured, and the loved ones who mourn his absence. His humility, his unwavering commitment to peace, and his selflessness remain a beacon for future generations. But for all that he was, one cannot help but feel the crushing weight of what could have been. A call to remember. As we reflect on the life of General Ogolla, the pain of his loss will not fade. His legacy, however, will endure, though not without a tinge of sadness, a question mark that hangs over it like a dark cloud. Why did he have to go so soon? Why did his journey, so full of promise, end so abruptly? And, in the silence that follows, one can't help but wonder, what now? In the absence of General Ogolla's leadership, the question looms larger than ever before. How do we move forward from this? How does a nation heal from the sudden, inexplicable death of a leader who meant so much to its future? The answers may never come, but one thing is clear: Kenya will never forget its fallen general. His life and his sacrifice will continue to inspire, even as we grapple with the questions that remain unanswered. In the hearts of every Kenyan, Ogolla's spirit lives on, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, leadership, integrity, and service are the lights that guide us forward. The unsolved mystery of General Francis Ogolla's tragic death. On the morning of April 17, 2024, Kenya was rocked by an unimaginable tragedy. General Francis Ogolla, the Chief of Defense Forces, CDF, perished in a horrific helicopter crash in the remote wilderness of Elgeyo Marakwet County. Along with him were 9 other brave military personnel, their lives snuffed out in an instant. Yet, despite the public outpouring of grief and the solemn tributes that followed, the cause of the crash remains an enigma, and the investigation into the incident has only deepened the mystery surrounding Ogolla's untimely death. The initial shock and the search for answers. The nation was stunned by the news of General Ogolla's death. Known for his calm demeanor, unwavering resolve, and dedication to Kenya, his passing left a gaping hole in both the military and the national psyche. As Kenya's top military officer, Ogolla was seen as a steady hand in times of crisis, an embodiment of patriotism and selflessness. His death, so sudden and violent, raised more questions than answers, particularly about the circumstances that led to the crash. Initial reports indicated that the helicopter, a Bell UH-1H Huey-2, a model that had been a staple for the Kenya Defense Forces, KDF, had failed to return to base after departing from a military camp in the North Rift. The wreckage was discovered hours later, deep in the hills, burned and shattered beyond recognition. The crash site offered little to explain why the aircraft, which had previously been reliable, would suddenly falter. But from the very first moment, the answers began to slip away. as if the crash itself was a carefully concealed riddle. The investigation into the incident was launched almost immediately, yet the details remained elusive, slipping through the fingers of those tasked with uncovering the truth. A delayed investigation, frustration mounts. The investigation into General Ogolla's death, led by Lieutenant General John Omenda and Brigadier Mohammed Salah Farah, has faced numerous delays and obstructions that have only served to intensify public suspicion. The helicopter's wreckage was sent to experts for examination, and a comprehensive inquiry was promised. However, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, answers were still absent. Months later, in a rare update, it was revealed that the team investigating the crash had traveled to the United States to consult with Bell Textron Incorporated, the manufacturer of the helicopter. This move was intended to analyze the wreckage in greater detail and determine whether mechanical failure played a role in the tragic accident. Yet even with this international collaboration, progress seemed painfully slow. The anticipated engine report, which could offer crucial insights, was still not available as of early 2025, a year after the crash. Why the delay? Why was this crucial piece of the puzzle taking so long to arrive? These questions linger in the minds of many, unanswered and growing more pressing with each passing day. Rising speculation and public outcry. The lack of conclusive findings has given way to mounting public frustration. Citizens, opposition leaders, and military personnel alike have called for greater transparency. The government, led by President William Ruto, has repeatedly assured the public that the investigation will be thorough and that the truth will be revealed. But with each passing day, the mystery deepens. As the investigation drags on, speculations about the cause of the crash have begun to swirl. Was it simply a mechanical failure, a tragic but unavoidable accident? Or is there something more sinister at play? Conspiracy theories abound, some suggesting sabotage, others pointing to a possible cover-up within the military ranks. The absence of definitive conclusions has only fueled these dark theories, turning what was once a straightforward investigation into a tangled web of uncertainty. The public's unease is palpable. The idea that a man of Ogolla's stature, one of the most trusted and respected figures in the military, could meet such a violent and unexplained end is a bitter pill to swallow. For many, his death represents not just the loss of a leader, but a betrayal of trust, a symbol of a greater mystery that remains shrouded in secrecy. A nation in suspense. As we stand on the brink of another year since General Ogolla's death, the investigation remains a black hole of unanswered questions. The failure to release a clear report, to provide definitive answers, has left Kenya in a state of anxious suspense. Families who lost loved ones in the crash are left wondering whether the military is hiding something, while citizens ask themselves how it is possible that one of the country's top officials could die in such circumstances without a clear explanation. In the corridors of power, the investigation continues, but the answers seem to slip further from reach. What exactly happened that fateful day in April 2024? Was it a catastrophic technical failure, or was there something more insidious at play? The longer the investigation continues without resolution, the more these questions loom large, casting a shadow over the memory of a man who served his country with honor and dignity. A legacy shrouded in mystery. General Ogolla's death, though tragic, is more than a personal loss. It is a national tragedy, one that speaks to the very heart of Kenya's military and its trust in leadership. His legacy, once seen as one of unwavering commitment and strength, now faces an unsettling question mark. As the investigation continues to stall, the nation waits, waiting for closure, waiting for answers, waiting for the truth. Yet with each passing day, the mystery grows. The truth seems just out of reach, a tantalizing specter that eludes the grasp of those who seek it. The silence is deafening, and the weight of the unknown heavy on the shoulders of a grieving nation. In the end, the only certainty is this: the death of General Francis Ogolla will never be fully understood. It is a riddle that may never be solved, a chapter in Kenya's history that will forever remain incomplete. And as the investigation continues to unfold, the question remains: what really happened to General Ogolla? The mystery lingers, unanswered. 5. The perils of complacency in safety and maintenance. The incident raises an important lesson about the ongoing commitment to safety and maintenance, particularly in military operations. Regardless of the track record or reliability of equipment, routine checks, upgrades, and vigilance are essential. The investigations focus on mechanical failure, and the fact that the helicopter was sent for repairs in the US speaks volumes about the importance of regularly assessing and maintaining critical infrastructure. We learn that overlooking or becoming complacent in safety protocols can have catastrophic consequences, especially when lives are at stake. 6. The weight of loss and the value of leadership. The death of General Ogolla also teaches us about the deep emotional and psychological impact of losing a leader. The grief that followed his passing wasn't just from his family and military comrades, but from an entire nation. Leaders play an irreplaceable role in shaping the identity, morale, and stability of a nation, and their loss can create a vacuum that leaves people feeling directionless and uncertain. It underscores the importance of fostering new leaders who are prepared for such eventualities, leaders who can step up when needed and guide their communities through times of crisis and confusion. 7. The necessity of preparation for the unexpected. While we can never predict when tragedy will strike, Ogolla's death serves as a stark reminder that preparedness is essential. Whether it's in the military, government, or in any organization, having contingency plans, proper succession strategies, and support structures is crucial. The absence of a contingency plan can leave an institution vulnerable and unprepared for sudden leadership vacuums. We learn that it is vital to ensure that structures are in place to maintain stability and continuity, even in the face of sudden loss. 8. The ongoing question of accountability. The lingering mystery surrounding the cause of General Ogolla's death leaves us with an important lesson about accountability. Who is ultimately responsible for ensuring the safety of such missions? What measures should be put in place to guarantee that high-ranking individuals like Ogolla, who serve at the highest levels of national defense, are not placed in situations where their lives are at risk due to negligence, equipment failure, or other preventable factors? This tragedy calls attention to the need for constant oversight and responsibility at all levels of government and the military, especially regarding the safety of leaders. The tragic death of General Francis Ogolla offers numerous lessons, not only to those within Kenya, but also to the global community. His untimely passing in a helicopter crash is a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictability of fate, especially for those who dedicate their lives to public service and the defense of their country. Here are some key lessons we can learn from this heartbreaking event. 1. The unpredictability of life and leadership. General Ogolla's death reminds us that life is fragile, and no one, no matter how powerful, respected, or accomplished, is immune to unforeseen circumstances. His death, while serving his country, serves as a reminder that even the most experienced leaders are vulnerable to events outside of their control. It's a lesson that we should cherish our moments, relationships, and responsibilities, for life can change in an instant. Leadership itself does not shield one from the unpredictability of life. 2. The importance of transparency in times of crisis. The prolonged investigation into General Ogolla's death has raised important questions about the role of transparency in leadership. The fact that there were delays and a lack of clear communication regarding the investigation's progress has sparked frustration and suspicion. From this, we learn that during times of crisis, especially when dealing with the death of a national leader, it is crucial to provide the public with consistent, clear, and transparent information. This helps avoid conspiracy theories and maintains trust in leadership, particularly during moments of uncertainty. 3. The need for thorough and swift investigations. General Ogolla's death underlines the importance of swift, thorough, and accountable investigations, particularly when public figures are involved. Delays in revealing the cause of the crash have left many questioning the integrity and professionalism of the investigation. It teaches us that in the face of tragedy, especially when lives are lost under unclear circumstances, a quick and thorough investigation is not just necessary, it's a matter of justice and national trust. The public's confidence hinges on knowing that there is a sincere effort to uncover the truth, regardless of the outcome. 4. The sacrifice of public service. General Ogolla's career epitomized selfless public service. He dedicated his life to ensuring the security and well-being of the people of Kenya, even at great personal cost. His death reminds us of the immense sacrifices made by public servants, especially those in critical positions of power, such as military leaders, politicians, and civil servants. This sacrifice is often unseen, and the weight of their responsibilities can go unnoticed until an event like this sheds light on the profound risks they take for the greater good of their country. We are reminded to honor and appreciate those who serve the public selflessly, often at great personal risk. 9. The value of national unity in grief. In the wake of General Ogolla's death, the entire nation came together in mourning, united by their love for the fallen leader and their shared grief. This collective moment of national sorrow reminds us that during times of tragedy, our differences can fade, and we can come together as one. It teaches us the value of solidarity, empathy, and mutual support in times of loss. Through grief, we often find common ground, and it is in these times that communities demonstrate their strength and resilience. 10. The need to honor the legacy of leaders. Finally, General Ogolla's death offers a profound lesson in how we honor the legacy of leaders. While it's important to mourn their passing, it's equally essential to continue the work they started. His commitment to his country, his humility, and his integrity should not be forgotten. As we reflect on his life, we are reminded that true leadership is about service, humility, and doing what is right for the greater good, qualities that should continue to inspire future generations. In conclusion, the death of General Ogolla is not just a personal tragedy, it is a moment in history from which we can learn invaluable lessons. His passing forces us to consider the importance of leadership, transparency, preparation, and accountability. It challenges us to reflect on how we honor those who serve selflessly, and it asks us to examine the systems that surround us to ensure they are as resilient and reliable as the leaders who guide them. Thank you so much for taking the time to read and engage with this report. The tragic passing of General Francis Ogolla is a somber reminder of the fragility of life, and we hope this exploration of his death and the lessons it brings has provided valuable insights. As we continue to reflect on this difficult chapter, it's important to stay informed and aware of the stories that shape our world. We are committed to bringing you detailed, accurate, and thought-provoking content that helps us better understand the events that impact our lives. If you found this report insightful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates, in-depth analysis, and coverage on current affairs, national events, and stories that matter. By subscribing, you'll be the first to receive future reports and discussions on topics that keep us connected as a community. Your support is essential, and we truly appreciate your interest. We hope you'll stay with us as we continue to bring you the news that matters, shedding light on the stories that make a difference. Thank you once again for being a part of our journey, and remember to subscribe for more. Stay informed, stay curious, and stay connected.